All right, so this is the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's directed by Jon Favreau, and it's the latest Star Wars movie in the theater. We haven't had a Star Wars movie in the theater in years. um, I almost didn't go see this movie because Mandalorian season three I didn't like, and also I don't really see the point of having a Mando movie in the theater and not just another season of the show or a movie on Disney Plus where the show is. I didn't really see the point, but it's been years since I've seen a Star Wars movie in the theater, so I kind of just really wanted to see Star Wars in the theater again. In this, we have once again the Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, and he's still with Grogu. They're taking on these missions. I believe this was set up in that season three. They're taking on these missions for the New Republic. The person who's giving them missions is Colonel Ward, played by Sigourney Weaver. They're taking missions to take out ex-Imperials that are still operating, in the galaxy and everything. He goes off and takes care of them. There's this other target, this new target that they want him to go after. And it's going to be difficult because nobody knows what he looks like, and he's believed to maybe even be dead already. So, he has to find information about him and hopefully bring him back so they can get information out of him. I actually like this movie, most of it. There's a glaring big problem in this movie, and I'll talk about that in a second. But it looks great. I mean, Mandalorian already looks great on Disney Plus. In the theater, it really worked. All right, the CGI it's questionable at times, like the guy that he's palling around with that helps him out. That character could look better. And there's some stiff movements with like Grogu and these Babu Frick aliens or whatever. But for the most part, the movie looks great. Still got that fantastic score. Every time that shit kicks in, man, I'm about to get goosebumps. I mean, it's so good, and I still like Mando a lot. Grogu, not so much, still. But I still really like Mando, and the action in this movie is so good. It's so good. There's so much action in it, and he fights all these different people. Like he's fighting these thugs at one point. He's fighting stormtroopers in the beginning. He's there's like gladiator a gladiator match. There's this thing where he's in the water, and there's this serpent like thing that's coming after him. I think that's a really good design for that thing. It legitimately looked like a terrifying situation, and it's like all of it was so action packed. I mean, Mando is all about fighting and violence in this. He's really he's really going in this. I mean, there's points where he does things that I didn't even understand why he was doing them, but they look cool. Like he walked into the room and he like used his flamethrower, and then he walks through the flames and just starts shooting people. And I was like, I don't even know the point of that. I guess it's so they didn't see him. I guess come into the room, but like, man, oh, it was a lot of fun. Like this is some of the best action of all of the Mandalorian when it comes to the show, the different seasons and things. I mean, the action was really fun. Right? There's a lot of it, but it never got old for me. The story was interesting to me as I was watching it. Right, the Hutts are involved, and like, you can't trust Hutts. Obviously, that's been a thing in Star Wars. Jabba the Hutt's son gets involved in this, which is like, okay, that's like a everything's got to be like a callback or a connection or something. But I like Jabba the Hutt's son. Right, it's weird seeing a hut in shape. That's a weird visual. But uh, I liked his personality. He seemed down to earth. I was like, okay, and he has some good interactions with Mando. So I was like, all right, this is kind of working. Like I do want to see where this is going. First negative here is it does not justify being in a theater. It doesn't. It could have easily been on Disney Plus. You could have even stretched it out and made it Mandalorian season four. When I was like going into it and also watching it, I was thinking, okay, if there's some big consequence in this, or if there's some much needed lore when it comes to the in between, between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, right? Where we're dealing with the New Republic, and we're going after people who are in the Empire who want the Empire back. So it's like, okay, are we going to get some First Order, the rise of the First Order type stuff? But no, it's just another mission Mandalorian is going on. It really could have been in Mandalorian season. Either they could have stretched out and made it Mandalorian season 4, or it could have been 2 to 3 episodes of season 4 of Mandalorian. Like, he just taken on a mission, and seemingly by the end of this, it's like, okay, that's over. I guess take on another one or find something else to do. So it really didn't justify being in theater. They could have very easily just had this on Disney Plus. The big glaring problem with this movie is Grogu, right? His name's in the title and everything. Uh, I I hate Grogu. I tolerated Grogu when he had plot relevance, right? When they had this whole Joel and Ellie thing where they're becoming closer as he's bringing Grogu to the Jedi, bringing him Luke Skywalker at the end of Mandalorian season 2. But since then, he got him back in Book of Boba Fett, and then season 3, him and Grogu are together with all this Mandalore stuff going on. Since then, he is purely what he was made to be, which is merchandise, right? Merchandise, toys. He even looks like a toy on screen, even in this movie, regardless of it actually being a movie in the theater. Don't matter. He looks like a toy. The way he moves is real awkward and everything like that. Mandalorian running around with him. He looks like a toy, and that's by design. um, he really is just a glorified pet at this point, right? He's there to look cute and everything. There's even a character that asks Mando, "Hey, can I feed him?" I was like, "Oh, come on!" First Lizzo playing around with him in season 3, and now this. It's just like, come on, like this is not a character. This is not a character, and I'm tired of it. You should have never got Grogu back. It should have just been either the end of the Mandalorian show, or Mando should have gone on to do other things, and maybe Grogu pops up every now and then, or he goes to check in on him, to check on him, make sure he's okay. The movie really did grind to a halt when they felt like, oh, Grogu's got to do some stuff. I mean, he did do like little things here and there before that, but it really, it's really Grogu carrying the movie during that time. And I'm like, come on. I mean, like it's to the point where Grogu's inconsistent because he has to be a baby because he has to be all cute and everything like that. But then when he has agency to do certain stuff, then it's like, okay, he can do things. But then, oh no, he's still a baby. Like there's a point where he puts a bomb, he sticks a bomb to something and then just stands there because I guess he knows to put a bomb on something to blow it up, but not that he needs to get clear of the explosion afterward. It's just like I fucking hate this character. It's not an actual character, and if you're gonna keep going with Mandalorian, obviously you gotta still have him there, and that's the worst part about it. Like you had an out, like you gave him up, like he didn't make the decision, like oh you're gonna stay with me in season 2. He gave him up, and so it's like come on, man. You really had to give Grogu something to do. Like you had to have Grogu just independently doing stuff and figuring stuff out and things like that. You really needed that with this thing that's not even really a character, really, and it's just there to look cute, and that's it. For people to be like, "Oh," and that's it. Laugh at little cute things that he does. It's just like, man, I didn't like that shit, man. I didn't. I don't like it. That was easily the worst part of the movie. But other than that, I did like the movie. Like I said, it doesn't justify itself being in theater, but for the theater experience, it still was enjoyable, at least to me. So I'm gonna give it a good enough. I'm giving it a good enough. If it wasn't for the little detour we had with Grogu doing shit, I probably would have given it higher. Anyway, that's the Mandalorian and Grogu. Good enough, like I said. See it if you still care about Star Wars, if you're, if you liked, Mandalorian at least the first 2 seasons or whatever. But yeah, you could probably wait for this to be on Disney Plus if you really, really don't care. But I do think it's an enjoyable time.